Sound Partners 1, Lesson 20. In today's lesson, we will learn about a new sound, the sound made by J, jet. Let's practice that sound now. J, jet. Now let's practice with some previous sounds that we've learned. Moon. Sun. Ball. Jet. Itch. Pig. Window. Rat. Girl. Rat. Nail. Apple. Dog. Jet. Itch. Window. Now let's repeat those. Ready? J, g, j, Now I will point to a letter and you say the sound that letter represents. Ready? W, like window. G, like girl. I, like itch. J, like jet. Like apple. Like nail. Like window. Like pig. Now you will need a piece of paper and a pencil as we learn how to form the lowercase and uppercase j. Let's watch as the video shows us how to form a lowercase j.
Lowercase j. 1. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lift. 2. Dot. Lowercase j.
All right, pick up your pencil and let's practice forming a lowercase j along with the video.
Lowercase j. 1. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lift. 2. Dot. Lowercase j.
Okay, put your pencil down and let's watch as we learn how to make the uppercase j.
Case j. 1. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lift. 2. Slide right. Uppercase j.
Okay, pick up your pencil and let's practice along with the video.
Case j. 1. Pull down straight. Curve back. Lift. 2. Slide right. Uppercase j.
Now you will hear 8 sounds. Write the letter that represents the sound that you hear. The first sound is
J.
The second sound,
W.
The third sound.
G.
The fourth sound.
E.
The fifth sound.
B.
The sixth sound.
S.
The seventh sound.
D.
And the eighth sound. Listen as I played each one more time so that you can check your answers. Ready? The first sound.
J.
Number 2.
W.
Number 3.
G.
Number 4.
E.
Number 5.
B.
Number 6.
S.
Number 7.
D.
And number 8. All right, let's check your answers. The first sound you heard was J, made by the letter J. The second sound, W, made by the letter W. The third sound, G, made by the letter G. The fourth sound, I, made by the letter I. The fifth sound, B, made by the letter B. The sixth sound, S, made by the letter S. The seventh sound, D, made by the letter D. And the last sound, P, made by the letter P. Now let's practice breaking apart words into their individual sounds using the sound boxes. The first word that we're going to break apart today is the word when. Ready? W, I, N. When. Did. D, I, D. Did. Jam. J, A, M. Jam. Ran. N. Ran. Pig. P, I, G. Pig. Now we're going to practice reading some words. We will sound them out and then say them fast. Watch as I demonstrate with the word in the box. Jog. Jog. Now let's practice some more. Ready? Og. Hog. Wig. Wig. Id. Did. Add. Bad. Job. Job. Add. Dad. Jam. Jam. It. Hit. Jot. Jot. Add. Pad. Jim. Jim. Got. Got. At. Cat. Wag. Wag. Jig. Jig. Now let's try those one more time. Ready? Og. Hog. ig, wig, id, did, bad, bad, job, job, dad, dad, jam, jam, it, hit, jot, jot, pad, pad, jim, jim, got, got, at, cat, wag, wag, jig, jig. What sound does job start with? It starts with the sound j. What sound does job end with? It ends with the sound b. What sound does dad start with? It starts with the sound d. What sound does dad end with? It ends with the sound d. What sound does jot start with? It starts with the sound j. What sound does jot end with? It ends with the sound t. What sound does wag start with? It starts with the sound w. What sound does wag end with? It ends with the sound g. Now let's practice spelling 3 of those words. The first word that we're going to spell is the word wig. Remember to stretch it apart into its sounds, w-ig, and then write the letters that represent those sounds to spell the word wig. The next word we're going to spell is the word jog. Let's stretch it apart, jog. And now write the letters that represent the sounds you hear in the word jog. And the final word, got, got, got. All right, let's check to see how you did. The first word was wig, w-ig. You should have spelled it W-I-G. The next word, jog, j-og. You should have spelled it J-O-G. And the last word, got, g-ot, G-O-T. Now let's practice reading our sight words. Our new sight word today is the word to. Say it with me. To. T-O, to. Now let's practice our previous words. Ready? You. Y-O-U. You. To. T-O-2. Is. I-S. Is. To. T-O-2. As. A-S. As. Has. H-A-S. Has. Of. O-F. Of. His. H-I-S. His. To. T-O-2. Isn't. ISN apostrophe T isn't. The or the, THE, the or the. You, YOU, you. Let's practice those again. Ready? You, YOU, you. Two, TO2. Is, IS, is. Two, TO2. As, AS, as. Has, HAS, has. Of, OF, of. His, HIS, his. Two, TO2. Isn't, ISN apostrophe T, isn't. The or the, THE, the or the. You, YOU. Now I will point to a word and you say that word. Ready? As. To. You. Is. Has. His. Of. The or the. Isn't. Now we're going to do something new today. We're going to spell 3 of those sight words. Remember, you can't really stretch sight words out to hear their sounds. They're just words that you have to know because sometimes their spellings don't match up to the sounds. So let's try the first one. The first one we're going to spell is the word as. Just do your best and write the letters you think are in the word as. All right, the next word, the or the. Like the cat or the end. And the last word that we're going to spell is the word to, like I am going to the store. All right, let's see how you did today. The first word we spelled was the word as. Let's read it. As, A-S, as. The next word we spelled was the word the or the. Let's read it and spell it. Ready? The or the, T-H-E, the or the. And the last word we spelled was the word to, T-O-2. In future lessons, we will also be spelling some more sight words. Now let's practice with our sentence. I'll give you just a few minutes to practice by yourself. All right, let's practice together. Ig, jig, and ran. Jig ran to Mac. Jig ran to Mac and Jig ran to Mac and Mac. Jig ran to Mac and Mac and Jig. Jig ran to Mac and Mac and Jig ran to Matt. Jig ran to Mac and Mac and Jig ran to Matt. Jig. Jig is hot. Now that's exclamation point, so we need to read this sentence excited. Jig is hot. Now let's put it all together. Ready? Jig ran to Mac, and Mac and Jig ran to Matt. Jig is hot. Remember that this comma tells us that we need to take a breath or a pause when we're reading this sentence. So let's make sure to do that when we read it this time. Ready? Jig ran to Mac, and Mac and Jig ran to Matt. Jig is hot. So Jig must be a boy's name, and he has ran to Mac, another little boy, and then Mac and Jig ran to Matt, another little boy. Or in our previous stories, Mac was a dog, so maybe Jig is a boy and he's running to the dog, and he and the dog are going to run to the next little boy. Well, looky here. The story we're going to read today is called Jig and Mag. So now we get to find out who Jig and Mag are. I bet that Mag is our dog that we've read about in previous stories, and Jig must be the pig in the picture. Let's see if we're right. Jig and Mag. Let's see if Jig is maybe Jig is a puppy. I can't tell. Maybe Jig is a pig or a puppy. Let's see in the story. Here we go. Jig is a big pig. Jig is a big pig. We were right. Jig and can. Jig can dig. Jig can dig and dig. Jig can dig and dig. Mag can dig. Mag can dig and dig. Mag can dig and dig. Did jig win? Did Jig win? Did Mag did Mag win? Did Mag win? Did Jig win? Did Mag win? Who do you think won? Jig did. Jig did win. Jig did win. Jig and Jig and Mag. Jig and Mag ran. Jig and Mag ran. Mag can. Mag can't ag, tag, mag, can, tag, jig. Mag can tag, jig. Ag, mag, id, did, mag, did, win. Mag did win. The end. So in our story, Jig won something and Mag won something. Let's go back and reread it now that we've decoded all of the words. Ready? Jig and Mag. Jig and Mag. Jig is a big pig. Jig can dig and dig. Mag can dig and dig. Did Jig win? Did Mag win? Jig did win. Jig and Mag ran. Mag can tag Jig. Mag did win. The end. So in our story, Jig won when it was a digging contest. Mag won when he ran and tagged Jig. Let's go back to the sentences that we read before our story now and see if it makes a little more sense. We know that Jig now is a what? Is a pig. So maybe Mac is a little boy. Maybe Matt's a little boy. And Jig's running to Mac. And then Mac and Jig are running to the next little boy. And Jig is hot because Jig's a pig and he's running. So that makes a little more sense to us today. That's the end of our lesson today.